crafty friends, this is Tracy Hines, aka Nanner Banana. Step back in time with me as I create the perfect cover for my retro 1950s Housewife journals. In this video, I walk you through how I add fabric, vintage flair, and a whole lot of charm to build the foundation for this nostalgic journal series. Think apron prints, polka dots, cherries, and good old-fashioned homemaker vibes. The supplies I'll be using today: fabric scraps, vintage prints, ginghams, florals, heavy cardstock or chipboard for the cover base, scissors, and optional lace trim, buttons, and rickrack. Let's get creative together. Be sure to subscribe for the full retro 1950 Housewife Journal series. I've created a playlist on my YouTube channel, so you shouldn't have any problems finding it. You can follow along and make a journal of your own. Well, guys, how's everybody doing? I had fun. I just got through watching Carrie the Paper Monkeys live a little bit ago, and I was so surprised. I didn't know she was going to mention my channel again. Thank you so much, Carrie. That means so much to me. So sweet. So I know I mentioned using a file folder, cardboard, or chipboard. I recently started using, it's this felt. You can get it on Amazon, and it's stiff felt is what it is. It's 9 by 6 when you fold it in half, so it's 9 by 12 or 9 by 13, so then it ends up being 6.5, which to me is just the perfect size little journal for your purse, for the monthlies I make, that sort of thing. It's been a while since I've made monthlies, so of course when I did this one, I forgot to fold the paper in half, and when I glued it on, it got a little bubbly there, but the other ones I do will not be that way. I'll just keep this one for myself. I'm going to set this to the side, and we're going to get started. All right, so the first thing I like to do is fold this just so it gets, and this would be true of like your file folder, thick cardboard, whatever you chose. I choose to fold mine. You could leave it flat, but that's when you can run into, when you do fold it, if you do a paper lining, it can bubble a little bit, or that's been my experience. So the first thing I do is lay my fabric down. The good side I lay down, so this is the, I won't say the bad side because I think both sides are pretty, but the reverse side. And I'm going to be laying the journal down just like this, and then I'll cut the excess off to do the sides and stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on, and I'm just using Fabrifix. Fabri-Tac works well too for this. I will say you can use the PVA glue if you're using a file folder or cardboard base. With this right here, with it being a type of fiber or material, the PVC glue does not work. It soaks into the felt, and it doesn't actually adhere the fabric. So I have found if I'm going to choose to use the felt base, I have to use the Fabrifix. So if you really don't like the smell of Fabrifix, I'd recommend just doing a file folder. Envelopes work, the large envelopes. And I almost made these out of the envelopes because where I work at, I get an endless supply of mail envelopes to return documents in that we do not use, and they just get shredded. And so I asked if I could take them, and they're like, no problem. I'm using a lot of glue just because, again, this does have a tendency to soak into the felt, but I like how it looks. It's puffy, and I just think it makes a neat looking journal cover. And then I do try to spread it out so I don't get any lines or any of the glue soaking through the fabric. With the PVA glue, you can paint that on with a brush or use your finger as well. And I'll definitely in the future be using PVA glue, so you'll get to see how that does as well. And then I just try to center it with my fabric as best I can, lay it down, and then I flip it over to make sure I don't have any bumps or bubbles in my fabric. I pull gently to get that crease right there out, and then I rub it flat. Same thing with this side. That way I get a nice flat surface. And as you can see, there's no bubbling. And that looks really nice. All right. So we're going to flip this over. I'm going to put the cap back on my Fabrifix for now and cut the excess material off. I do leave anywhere between a 1/2 inch to 1 inch all the way around. And I save my scraps because I'll probably use these to either make fabric dangles or clusters for the journals as well. I'm hoping, I'm going to try and really push this weekend and get these done because Tuesday, as you all know, is July 1st, and I'm going to be starting a new journal series. And moving forward, the journal series are going to last the entire month, and that way I'm not quite as rushed in getting everything done to have a completed journal, but definitely can do a completed journal in a month from start to finish. I'm going to be on the 1st, I'm going to do a video where I show you all the items I've curated. I may actually come on this weekend before the 1st and show you, so you would have time to maybe go to Goodwill or get on eBay. And if you want to do exactly what I'm doing, get some of the items. And if not, again, I have uploaded a digital to my Ko-Fi page, which is also Tracy Hines Nanner Banana. And I've got a post on my YouTube channel that you can follow to the Ko-Fi page, and you'll be able to download the Raggedy Ann and Andy digital I made. It's free. I don't feel right about charging for anything like that. I just want you guys to be able to make these items and enjoy the process and have fun. And I'm grateful for all the people that do make digitals and sell them, because I do use them. I'm not saying people shouldn't sell their digitals, because I'm grateful that there's people out there. I just don't feel like mine is to the quality every single page that it merits getting sold for money. And I really like the idea of us just sharing in the process of creating journals together. Okay, so what I didn't talk about that because I was too busy talking about next month, is I trimmed the corners. It's not a 90-degree trim. It's kind of at an angle on both sides. You can see like it kind of is like that, angled, and that will allow us to fold this in and look nice and finished. If for some reason when you do yours, you're not happy with the corners, you can get little metal corners that you can attach, and that will cover up anything you're unhappy with on the corner. I don't necessarily smooth this glue out because you're not going to see the material very much at all on this side. It's going to be covered up with another layer of paper. I've also made journals where I take 2 of these and I cover them both with fabric and then sew those together, and it's 100% fabric journal. Those look really nice too. I just find that there's, like I said, these journals are for my craft show, and I'm trying to make them as low cost as possible because that's the feedback I got, that they would like a journal that doesn't cost that much to get into junk journaling, since they're not real sure what it even is. And that's me trying to accommodate that. Yeah, Carrie mentioned some channels when I was watching her live today, and I wanted to mention one in particular. We have connected outside of YouTube via messaging, that sort of thing, and her name is Stacy Junkie Cat Junction. She has one video up right now, but her and Carrie will be doing a collaboration on a Christmas in July journal, which will be really neat to follow along with as well. So go check her out, and I will include any channels I mention in today's video at the bottom in my description, so you'll be able to check them out and support those channels by subscribing and liking the videos they have up. It means so much to a maker, creator, when people do that, leave comments, because we, just like you, love this craft, and it means so much when we know other people like what we're doing. Okay, so the next step is we are going to cut a piece of paper to fit in this section right here. And again, I believe these are 9 by 13, but let me measure it real quick. So it is 12 inches this way, so it's 9 by 6. So I'll need a 12-inch by, I believe this is 9-inch. Let me see here. Yes, 9. So that's what I need to cut my scrapbook paper to. And it's already 12 there, so I just need to cut it to 9 inches, which I will cut it to 8 3/4 because a little bit of the material I want poking out. And this way I'll cut it to 11 3/4. Alright, and I will put glue on this as well. The first thing I want to do, though, to prevent what happened to the one I showed you in the beginning, is fold this in half. I'm going to glue one half, and then I'm going to fold this over and glue the other half, and I should not get, and then like just attach it like that, and that way I do not get the rippling and bubbling that can sometimes happen when you just let them dry flat. They look awesome when you let them dry flat, but when I find when you go to fold them and sew in your signature, you can get some rippling. I'm going to try and hop on and do another video either tonight or tomorrow where I've picked out signature pages, so you'll see the type of paper I use for my signature and sew one in. And then we will start decorating the inside of these. When my granddaughter comes over Saturday, she's going to spend the night Saturday into Sunday, we are going to do master boards that I can cut to make some pockets and decorate, and also some fodder. I've got a really cool book that shows how to draw and color painting ideas in watercolor, or I've got Copic markers we can use. We'll see how we do. I've never really made fodder. I've followed along and tried making some, but this will be the first time that it goes with the theme of a journal I'm actually making. And again, you don't have to smear the glue out, but I just choose to. And I'm going to lay this down. Let's see. And that's why I do leave that 1-inch to 1/2 inch border around. That way it has an edge, because I think it looks better when the paper doesn't go right up to the edge but shows a little bit of the material underneath. All right, and now we are ready to glue this side. I will also include that supply list in my description, so if you want to gather what you need before following along with the video, you can. I apologize, that's my dog. His name's Luke. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but apparently he's drunk his water too fast or something. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring this over and go ahead and see what happens there. That's what happens if you lay it out flat. That's why I need to pull that off, which with Fabrifix you don't have a whole lot of time to do that, but we're going to attempt it. Alright, and we are just going to bring that page over and do it that way like I originally planned. That way we know for sure we're not going to have that issue. Right, then I'm gonna not glue this topper down just yet because I will take this to the sewing machine and sew around it like I did this one. I just did a zigzag stitch around the outer edge of that, and that it's not really needed with the glue you put down, but that adheres everything really good. But that's what this one will look like when it's all put together. All right. Thanks for stopping by. This is Nanner Bananer signing off. Until next time, keep it cute, keep it crafty, and keep making something out of nothing. Bye.